Chauncey was talking about the '05 series. He was talking about how it kind of changed the game because it was nobody wanted to watch the Raiders.
It's the most boring in the world ever.
But do you sort of miss that though? That defense and that type of play in those?
Yeah, the physicality, the rock'em sock'em kind of stuff. It was more fun. It led to a lot of situations that were interesting to watch. But on the counterpoint is, the fans love the threes and the open court and offense rules because you can't really touch anybody the same way. So it's a huge advantage for offense. But people like it. You score lots of points, and that's the deal. As I said before, I'm hopeful we can get a 4 or 5 point shot in there to make it a real circus. So it's not even basketball. It's like going to the carnival.
How far back would that have to be?
Yeah.
He also mentioned that one of the things that when he views your career, one of the things he respects the most has been your ability to adjust from that type of pace to the faster stuff and winning in those different ways. What's the challenge been like for you over the years, adjusting to that flow and that type of game?
I think people make too much of that. You have to change, and we have changed, but it's not like you had to invent a cure for COVID or, it's basketball.
Sure.
So, people are 7'2" and they shoot shots. They're 6'10", they shoot shots. There are no post people anymore, per se. And so you see that and you go, okay, duh, you got to do something a little bit different. And so you do it. So it's not that complicated, really.
You thought about the fact that the UT team that played here this year probably was older and more experienced than the guys you're going to throw out there tonight. I mean, you're playing some pretty young dudes.
Yeah, it's like the other night we were talking about. It's their second year in college, really, for a lot of them. So that's where the satisfaction comes in, because you're not going to win a lot of games that way. But watching them develop from the beginning to the middle to the end, both individually and becoming pros, understanding what it takes to win a game at this level, how you have to learn the game all over again. It's not like high school, it's not like college, it's a different game. To watch that development in all these guys has really been a joy. And the staff that I have is really good at that, in connecting with those young kids. I don't know their names, I don't even talk to them, but those guys are great at it.
Has it been especially satisfying to see guys like Dom and Julian and Sandro kind of gain?
Yeah, Dom was bagging groceries at HEB. We got him, and now he's playing minutes. So I'm thrilled for guys like that. People who have been, a couple guys have been cut early from teams, and we brought them in, and they've shown themselves to have a chance to have NBA careers. So it's fun to figure out who those guys are moving on and to help them through that. That's satisfying.
Speaking of guys building careers, I asked Chauncey about Drew Eubanks, and he said that the thing he loves most about him is that he's a competitor, a true competitor.
All coaches like competitors. That goes without saying.
How do you like Drew and what he's been able to build out of
I'm thrilled for Drew. I mean, he's come so far from when we first got him, and he's just soaked it all up year after year. And now with all the minutes he's getting in Portland, he's starting to blossom. But at his core, what he is a competitor. He's a tough nut, and he plays every down. So I'm sure that's what Chauncey loves about him the most.
If this game wasn't here tonight, the two rosters that are playing, there's a lot of guys sitting out, wouldn't get nearly as much attention. I'm just curious if you have any solutions, or is this just something that's going to happen?
Solutions for what?
For the type of situation the NBA has, where there's these games where not a lot of stars are playing, where a lot of the starters are out.
I'm not smart enough for solutions, but I'm not sure exactly what the problem is. Are you referring? Do you think it's like tanking or something?
I didn't say that. I didn't use that word.
I read between the lines really well.
Okay.
I have half a brain. No, it's not like that at all. I mean, Jeremy's got his knee problem, and so does Devin Vassell. KJ may play today. He was barfing all night long. So, they're legitimate medical reasons why some guys aren't playing very much at the end of the year. Other teams, they make their own decisions, but ours are basically, I'd love for Jeremy to be playing these games. I'd love for Devin to be playing these games. But at this point, the point where they're at in their injury just doesn't make sense to go out and get it hurt and exacerbate what they already have and then not have them for training all summer long for next year.
So you think Jeremy and Devin probably will not?
I think it'll be tough. They couldn't even practice today. So if you can't practice, you probably shouldn't play that night.
Coach?
Yes, sir.
They're expecting a sellout here, I believe more than 15,000, which I believe is 5,000 more than what the UT men's games usually get here as far as capacity. What does that say about the Spurs brand that even during a down year, and obviously Portland without Damian Lillard, that still get?
Right, I wanted to watch Damian. He's something else. I think, in some ways it's a novelty where you kind of look at it like a concert. There are 2 NBA teams in town, and you don't see that very often. I think a lot of it is due to that.
What were your initial thoughts of just the Moody Center in general?
Of what?
Of the Moody Center?
Oh, I think it's really homey. I love it. It's really compact. You can see where you feel like the fans are on top of you. I'm sure it's a pretty good advantage. That was the first thing we noticed when we came to shoot around today. Really well put together.
How often do you get up here? I know you.
Not very often. It's, just a situation. Somebody asked me that the other day. With 82 games and all the travel, when you're home, you're either with your family or you're doing something in the community, and it's just difficult to get up here and get back. There's only so many days, hours to be able to do that. So I've not really been able to come up very often.
Spurs have had a presence for 15 years here with the G League.
Right.
In a couple of ways that maybe you've seen that's been most beneficial for the past decade and a half for the NBA side?
Oh, it's been great. We were one of the first ones to start that. And, we've had coaches go through there that have gone on to bigger and better things. And a lot of players have gone through there that have matriculated to the San Antonio Spurs. And to have them, learn what we're doing and be able to play all those minutes instead of sitting on the bench and being the 12th or 13th man and they never get in a game, they don't really improve because you have to have minutes to improve. So to be able to do that in the G League and D League previously for these years has been really a wonderful thing for us.
How much has that elevated the depth of the league in general, do you think?
It's been great for the whole league. I don't think there's a team that would tell you it hasn't been an advantage for them. It's worked out well.
You call this like a concert, concert comes to town. Do you like that? Do you like trying something new like this and something unique?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking to Brett Brown in the locker room. I said it feels kind of like when we had the 60,000 deal at the Alamo Dome, where it's sort of surreal and it's different and it doesn't seem like it's real in a way. You don't expect to play in a different venue at the end of the year in that sense. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Competitively, I know you mentioned yesterday that this is probably not going to be the last year you're going to come to Austin, or the Spurs are going to come to Austin.
Yeah, we're hoping to do it every year.
Would it make more sense to do it not at the end of the year, kind of intersperse the games throughout the course of the schedule?
Well, now you're asking me management questions, which are way too difficult for me to comprehend. But it's a logical comment. I think it's a logical comment. I would listen to that more so than what the Tennessee legislature listens to. Just thought I'd throw that in there just for. It's a serious topic. I shouldn't make light because it's scary. But anyone else? Okay, I thought somebody might pick up on that. I was ready.
You already missed that question.
We'll have RC in just a second. Give me 2 minutes.
What's up, Bill? How are you, man?
Right. I know they're gonna come back, but like, was there actual official meetings on the commission? I didn't think so. Every year.
They play more than it's more subjective. I have to.
Lease agreements up to. They're already clear. What about your?
So the approval was for the four total, and they tried to get four in Austin, right?
They tried to get more for both seasons this year and next year. And the compromise was just this year.
Will they always be on the same, like, at one time, 2 days, like, 2 out of 3 days?
Still there?
They wanted it during the road to road.
I haven't done this in a long time.
Pop was just talking about possibility of playing future games here. Is that set in stone? Would you guys want to play here each season?
I think we're going to learn, test and learn as we go along. I think clearly our region is fastest growing region in North America, and if you really take the Mexico to San Antonio to Austin and all the places in between, we've got fans in a lot of different places. So we're going to enjoy celebrating the 50th anniversary and see what we learn here. And we've got partnerships with great partners in Bexar County at the AT&T Center that we want to continue to honor. But San Antonio's home.
What's the initial reaction you've gotten locally from fans and just, since you've been here?
Well, the weather hasn't cooperated very well for us, but I think the amount of attendance that we're going to see at both of these games is really encouraging. The response from media has been encouraging. Our players have enjoyed the time that they've gotten to spend with people in this community, as they do, and then the work we've done and will continue to do going forward in our community impact work, I think has all been really well received.
Percy, have you planned on the full capacity, 15,000 for both games from the beginning, or did that kind of come about when the tickets started selling?
We were, we didn't know what to expect. I think our goal was to sell out both events, and we know we have great fans across this region, and so being able to take advantage of an opportunity that, a great facility to partner with OVG and UT and test and learn. Pop and I've been trying new stuff for a long time across basketball, and I think bringing some of those ideas, the way the team executed on the Alamo Dome game, we've been back and forth to Mexico over the last, not decade, but almost a decade. So this is another opportunity for us to continue to grow our brand, to continue to meet our fans and listen to them and learn in the communities that are important to us.
I know you're testing and learning, and there's procedural stuff to be worked out, but as of now, there's an option for 2 games outside of AT&T next year. Would both Austin and Mexico be candidates to fill those spots at the current moment?
I don't know what your option is. We're continuing to work with our partners to see where we can best meet our fans, and so there haven't been any designated number of spaces wherever. The Mexico games are controlled by the NBA, and so we'll work with them as we have for, I think we've traveled internationally as much or more than almost any club, and that's always been a big part of who we are
It's been a big part of our culture. We want to continue to honor that international and respect and love for the game. So.
How do you think this 50th anniversary season has gone for you guys, just in terms of all the things you've done and all the
I couldn't have been more proud of the emotion, the passion, the innovation that our organization has put into celebrating our relationship with our fans, and I think we've been rewarded for that. Clearly the Dome game was something I've never experienced. I mean, and I think it was great to talk to the people on our team and on Golden State. Our players, our coaches really felt like they were part of something special. To go back and relive the history through the docuseries and that's, you guys know how much time and effort goes into a 50-part docuseries that we're continuing to present. That was a massive lift. It was a great opportunity for people across our organization and across our community. You know, many of you sat in front of that camera and shared your thoughts and experiences. So I'm incredibly proud for that. The opportunity to try something new in Austin, and to see the response. And you can see, you know, the court being here, the branded chairs for the individual season ticket holders. I was here with a friend of mine this morning who has courtside seats, and he saw his name on the chairs that had been brought from San Antonio, and that type of commitment to our fans has been, I think it's been rewarded well in a season that was, you know, that we're rebuilding. So I think the opportunity to meet our fans where they are, and then to continue to build through our impact work. The court that was donated in the community here this week was, you know, the response to that from the people was really emotional. So I couldn't have been more proud to be a part of the team that celebrated the relationship that they've had with people throughout our fan base across the whole season.
Speaking of the fans, I'm sure you've seen some fans in San Antonio are concerned that, you know, a couple games in Austin, what if they're thinking about relocating? What would you say to those fans?
Well, first of all, I think we from the Holt family, from Peter J. Holt, the commitment is there, continues to be there, will always be there to San Antonio. I think if you've gone out to see our new human performance campus at the Rock at La Cantera, that is a financial commitment and an emotional commitment to our community that is our home. And what we hope to bring to the impact of it throughout our communities, we continue to be engaged in so many places. I don't know how we can say any stronger. San Antonio is home.
And then from a business perspective, why is it such a slam dunk to be expanding into Austin? You know, you're trying to expand your reach into this market.
I think this whole region, as we said, is the fastest growing region in North America. And to be able to connect Mexico, and we're also a part of just a piece of a lot of organizations and companies that are really trying to bring this whole region together, from Tesla putting their plant in Monterey and Austin, and all the organizations and companies that will be associated with that growth, the medical and technology aspects that are growing throughout UTSA and UT Health, and some amazing partners that we're going to be able to be part of this great University of Texas system.
Is the training facility portion of the campus still set to open in time for training camp?
I'm gonna let the contractors hold their feet to the fire, but everybody's told me we'll be in for training camp.
RC, you mentioned the rebuilding process that the organization is going through. From a business standpoint, and obviously every organization has gone through it the past 20 years. You guys took a long time to get there, but have there been challenges associated with, not selling out the arena every night, and how has the organization kind of weathered that, the whole rebuilding?
I think there's always challenges within any season, no matter where you are. The excitement that our communities have for a young team, and I think the respect that our players have given to competing and developing habits that we can carry forward have been incredibly important. And with that, I think our organization has shown an unbelievable commitment to be successful. And the atmospheres at the games, I've been really proud to see the environment that our fans, our community has shown, and the respect and the enjoyment that they've had with supporting our team. So there are challenges in every season, but I think we've learned a lot, and we've also got to honor 50 years of history, and the TJ and Chris and Jordan's efforts with the alumni program to be honored at all the games. I think it's been really empowering to see how many alumni feel connected to the Spurs, and I think we can do some great work going forward with the unique relationships that we have with our former players.
RC,
All that said, are you looking forward to the draft lottery?
I think we're always looking forward to building a new team. That happens every summer. There's still a lot of work to be done, and a lot that has to happen to know exactly where we'll be, and that's building teams and sharing that with Brian and Pop and all of the people who take countless hours gathering the information that we need to make good decisions for the draft and free agency. The work that our strategy group has done in being creative with trades. I think this is a time of year where, while it seems like the season's over, a lot of work is still yet to be done.
If you get the first pick, I know you should take.
Okay, we'll call you.
Yeah, just call me. I got a suggestion.
Obviously, the roster construction thing is a major part of the calculus, but when you talk about reaching out to Austin, to Monterey, to Mexico City, have there been any ideas or plans otherwise for incentives for fans to travel down I-35 or hop on a plane to come to San Antonio? Has there been any thought in terms of making it easier for people?
We'll do anything we can to help support that. We've had initiatives currently going on with the helicopter services from Austin, the Viva Aerobus relationship that we have that helps us connect with our fans in Monterey and helps people get to our games. The time we spend in Mexico City, we continue to develop relationships and are actively looking for creative ways to make our games more accessible to all of our fans. If you could get a train between the two communities, I think that would be helpful. So,
would it make, I know scheduling's out of your hands, but would it make more sense for some of these out of San Antonio games to happen earlier in the season?
We're here. We're trying 2 games this weekend, and we'll learn a lot from there.
You couldn't do this if you were playing for a playoff seed, for the very last, a competitive team, 50-win team, playing for a seeding, the last home game of the year in Austin. Could you?
I don't know why not. I mean, we would, if we were in that position, we'd still have more games following the regular season.
You don't think it would be an affront to San Antonio fans?
we're going to test and learn. I don't know that the last game of the season has a different impact than any other. We will still be playing.
RC, at the time that the settlement with Dr. Coughlin was announced, you put out a statement saying that the team would collaborate with Dr. Coughlin and other experts in an effort to review and improve the club's workplace processes and procedures. Where are you with that? Has a meeting with her and experts taken place?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
No. Sorry. We continue to do everything we can to make a powerful and safe environment for all of our players, staff, employees, and have learned from many experts.
RC, how will you measure the success of this series?
I think the reaction to the fan base will be one. Clearly, not being able to host a fan fiesta tomorrow because of weather is a disappointing occurrence. But I think we'll look and there'll be a lot of data available to us once we get through this. But I think more than anything, the attention and the presence of being in the community Wednesday night and dedicating the new court, our team being around and seeing the reaction that our fans have had with our team will be some of the data.
Other than proximity, was there a competitive component with the Mavericks and the Rockets about trying to kind of claim Austin?
This is in our market. This is not in their market. So this was building on the guidelines that are presented through the NBA.
I think going back about to the Mexico, so Adam Silver said in Mexico the NBA was closer to having an NBA team in Mexico. The Spurs having Austin Spurs, San Antonio Spurs, how close is it, or to say that will be a Monterey Spurs? Would that be something that the Spurs would be looking at, building a team or working with the NBA with Mexico?
We continue to, in presently, past, future, want to continue to work with the NBA to open up that market. The NBA controls the first team scheduling there. We have also talked to them about how we could engage G League opportunities, and clearly the Capitanes now have done a great job in their first season. So I think not their first season, but their first season hosted in Mexico. We enjoyed playing the Austin Spurs. Was a really great environment when we got to play them the night before our game in Mexico City. So I think we'll continue to do what we can to help build the NBA's brand in Mexico and to help build our brand in Mexico.
RC, has Pop given you a commitment on whether he's going to return next season?
I'll be the last to know.
I think we'll be the last to know, actually.
He'll probably tell you before he will me.
Do you think he knows yet?
Do I think he knows yet? You'll have to ask him.
That's not quite an answer to the question.
RC, do you guys have any plans to make Spurs games more accessible on TV here? Because I think it's one of those situations where you can't get it through cable, but you also can't get it on League Pass because you're too close to San Antonio.
We're working together. I think all teams face a similar situation. It's not just us within their regions when people don't have access to cable.
Thank you, RC.
Thank you. Thank you.